slots?
Yes,
Yes.
that's correct.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and today we are rejoining the party of the Dragons of the Frozen Seas. We left off with them holed up in an abandoned hut that had been raised off the ground to avoid the dangerous fauna here in the far north, where everything is constantly under a permafrost. They had been attacked by the winter wolves who served the witch who had taken over Scotty's village, and ever since then, Scotty has been strangely cursed, mute, almost catatonic, and the rest of the party hasn't been able to figure out exactly what is going on with her. They've been very worried though. We're also going to be having a new player join us, but we're going to handle that a little bit later. So for right now, what the party and any viewers need to know is that they are traveling far into the lands of Angelgrund in order to try and find the last village before the frozen sea where they think Scotty's people may have fled to. Because nobody was left alive at the village, and only Jalivy was left alive along the path there. So now they are trying to find everybody else. Alright, so we're going to pick up right where you guys left off. So if you want to, heal or rest or whatever, you guys need to decide that for yourselves. But I will say that as of right now, you are not sure how safe it is to remain here with the one wolf having ran off.
Yeah, I think we should find shelter elsewhere.
I agree, but I'm also in rough shape and not really fit to travel. If you could just tuck my guts back in, we'll see what I can do.
Well, I only have one spell point right now, so.
In our hour of need, does Scotty seem to do a little bit more? Does she become more animated yet?
No, not yet.
Do we still have our good berries, or did we eat them all from the previous day?
Yeah, you guys had eaten all of those. I thought one person had one left. Eric?
I think I may have one left, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I gave it to a guard.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. The guard, because you guys were happy that the Vikings had proven so useful.
Alright,
Yeah.
maybe we should take a short rest here, and then sit out after we have a short rest.
Genevieve volunteers to keep watch while y'all can rest.
Okay, I'll do a heal check and see if I can't at least tuck Ulf's guts back in while we're taking a short rest.
Yeah, so looking down at your leg where the wolf bit you, you can see the fish eggs of your fatty layer, just kind of pouring out, and the blood isn't much, but the puncture is deep.
Alright, I'll clean the wound and wrap it and put a splint there for support if need be. And just do the best I can with it.
I'll use a piece of wood as a crutch, and we'll find it nearby if we need to real quick.
I can probably use torch to some fire to help disinfect it a little bit. I think
No,
we have
thank you.
You sure? I mean, it would probably be a pretty good sterilizing agent.
No, it's good. I can run for days. Keep that away from me.
Okay, if you're sure. I think I have a stick that you can bite down on if you change your mind.
I just like the image of Jalivi running up to you with a burning torch, like, I'll help.
If she puts that torch near my leg, I'm gonna take your stick and shove it up your ass.
Okay, what can I get my unseen servant to can unseen servant help with mending his wound and stuff?
An unseen servant is capable of performing simple tasks, but something like performing a medicine check is beyond their capability.
Okay. Well, then I guess that well, it was a thought.
I'm gonna have to hobble along. That's all there is to it.
Alright, I rolled a heal check to try to. I'm going to try to splint his leg up and wrap it and do everything that I can short of casting a healing spell on it.
Ulf, you find that with Eric's poultices and um, wrapping his splint and everything in the right place, putting the right amount of pressure on it, that it has alleviated some of the pain, and instead of being slowed, you are now only reduced by 5 feet of movement.
Okay.
I think it'd be a good idea to take just a short rest here, and
You already
then.
did.
We
Okay.
haven't yet, have we?
Yeah, that was what you guys were doing while you were wrapping the leg and everything. I applied it to everybody.
Oh, okay.
I'll just try and split up some of my gear with you and start making our way out.
All right.
Alright.
Are the guards still here with us?
No,
The Viking.
they abandoned you.
Is my disc still up since we
No.
just finished fighting?
Well, okay, so it was up when you just finished, but by the end of the short rest, it's not. And yeah, the Vikings and everyone are still here. Hafnir's not going to leave Scotty in this state.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast my disc again so he won't have to climb down, so it'll be easier for him. And we can have him float along for a while we, go to the next spot so he don't have to put any pressure on that leg.
The disc
Um,
is really slow.
Yeah, and how much weight can it carry?
300 pounds.
What's the speed of it?
I don't know the speed of it. I don't know. Well, then I can just cast it to make it bring you down without, or you can use rope. I guess if we have rope, we can just use rope to lower you down.
His upper body's still good. Save your spell points.
Okay.
I know, my bedside manner is great, isn't it?
I'm trying to be creative here.
Oh, you can go normal speed each round.
Oh, really? I thought it only
Yeah.
could move one movement that took a free action or a minor action.
It'll go at her movement speed each round.
Oh, okay.
Base movement speed.
All right, well, let's do that then.
Well, it's only going to last for 3 hours, but yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, Scotty cannot communicate what Star is feeding back to her. Star is continuing to scout ahead as always, but Scotty cannot communicate it. And as you guys trudge ahead, you come across an open plain, and on that open plain, you guys roll for perception. Not you, Scotty. You couldn't communicate it even if you did notice.
Figured I'd roll to notice but not communicate. But sure.
You're kind of like stuck in your own memories right now. Eric, on your first roll, you managed to see in the distance a plume of white feathers, and although you can't make it out in the dim starlight, as it gets closer, you can hear a terrifying half screech, half roar as a huge feathered lizard comes charging into the clearing.
Okay, I put up my hand as if to tell everybody, hold your ground. There's something up ahead.
I'm going to hope that Jellyby bravely floats me away.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay, I say, danger. If his danger's coming, we gotta keep both in the back, cause he's hurt. And floating to the back.
Does whatever it is notice us yet?
It seems to have been stalking you.
I'm going to try the wild empathy while I bravely float away.
You have wild empathy under abilities. Oh, it's right there. Yeah, so unfortunately, whatever you're trying to communicate to this creature is only drawing attention to yourself.
My first?
You might be. Eric still has to roll.
Okay, I don't see it.
Can you see the map?
Yeah, okay, I see it now. I was just in a bad spot. Alright, I'm going to move slight right so I can. Well, actually, you know what? I've got magic missiles and that will never miss. Guess we go for. I don't think I have any defense spells right now.
Just so I have an idea, how big is this thing?
It is approximately 8 feet.
And wild empathy didn't work, huh?
It's a reptile, so I guess not.
Yeah, no, wild empathy didn't work.
I think I'm gonna color spray it and try and blind it, or whatever it does.
I think it has too many hit points for that. No dazzling.
Magic missile probably wouldn't be bad either.
Well, I already rolled.
Alright, so he has to make a will save. So, the polar Tyrannosaurus manages to make its will save and is not stunned for 1 round.
Alright. Right, but I can't move you. I'd have to tell you to move. Um, I'll get back behind people so that you can get a clear shot from a distance, so they won't come after.
Okay. I tell Vitor, hold what you got for now. Stay.
Go ahead and roll a handle animal. Unfortunately, Vitor sees the huge menacing lizard and runs ahead.
Bad Vitor.
The Viking turns around and says, "Run!" The polar Tyrannosaurus charges at the nearest person and attempts to bite him. Unfortunately, he doesn't manage to grab a hold of the Viking and just kind of snaps near him, but it's enough to frighten the Viking.
Okay. Hang on just a second. Okay. I think I'm gonna hold my actions for now and see what everybody else does. Because I don't know if these Vikings are gonna run or if they're gonna try to fight this thing.
Well,
And I
so
know that
far the first two have ran.
two have run so far.
Yes.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm getting out of Dodge. I'm gonna run with them.
Eric, roll for perception.
You're blind.
Apparently so. I
Oh
rolled a
yeah,
10.
if I had something to tell you, I would have.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my attack action and just use my move action, and I guess hold what I have now. I may try to make a ranged attack later on, though.
If I may, before the next Viking takes his turn, I'm gonna yell, "Hey, you're leaving Scotty behind! Protect the lady!"
And this Viking does indeed run up to Scotty and grab her up and drag her 10 feet forward. And this Viking comes up behind to help protect. Hafnir bravely keeps
Poops
up
his
with the
pants.
rest of his Vikings. This Viking is so close to the Tyrannosaurus that he is going to take an attack of opportunity, but he's too scared to do anything different.
God.
But he manages to slip past the Tyrannosaur's clamping jaws and catch up with the rest of the party.
All retreat. I say.
Alright, can I assume, Jillaby, that you're gonna move the floating disc to the edge of your range, moving me away from the team? Yay, an extra 5.
Take it.
I'm gonna grab my bow and take a shot. Then hop off the disc and move my third. Which would put me off the map, or what's.
Nope, it puts you right there.
Do I have line of sight to it at this point?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go ahead and attempt to shoot it with my bow as well.
Because he had his attack action.
And Scotty is still catatonic and passes, doesn't do anything.
Alright, I'm going to
Hold on.
retreat. Okay.
the three waiting polar tyrannosaurs who were setting an ambush use their readied actions to come charging out. One of them attacks this Viking. Chomping down hard on the Viking's shoulder, it attempts to grab him. And does. This one charges at Ulf. And attempts to grab him. And does. This one is going to charge at Jalivi. And attempts to grab her. And does. So now Jalivi is grabbed and has taken 33 damage. So she's basically unconscious. Ulf has taken 16 damage, and he is unconscious and grabbed. And the Viking is grabbed, but still conscious and screaming. Now, Kex the Copper, along with his companion, an Ursine, who I will allow Kex to name, have been tracking these tyrannosaurs and are looking to drive them off because they hunt the fauna that they need to eat. Kex has been here searching for ancient artifacts in the Arctic, and he befriended this bear folk shaman who is part warrior, part spellcaster, kind of like a spiritist. And so you guys are now able to roll for initiative and join the fray. Alright, so this polar tyrannosaur is going to bite down on Orist. Got it. And he bites down on the Viking again, dealing 15 more damage. Orist channels his spiritism powers and causes himself to become massively enraged. as he charges at the tyrannosaurs that have Jalivi, he brings his huge battle axe up above his head and tries to strike at the lizard. Dealing a massive blow that knocks the Tyrannosaur to the ground. It drops Jalivi on the ground. And then Kex, it's your turn.
Alrighty. First things first, I am going to, as a free action, throw on my power aura. Anybody that's not a T-Rex in that area is going to be getting +1 to their damage rolls, at least melee ones. Then I'm gonna move. Wait, how do you roll charge? Can I charge to this square?
Absolutely. You can move through an ally square unless there's not enough space, and then you'd have to squeeze.
Okay, well, I'll charge to here then. Grab that flanking bonus. And I'm going to bring down a power attack on this Tyrannosaur. So flanking and charging will be +4 to hit. Wait, wrong one.
You bring down your Morning Star on the fallen Tyrannosaur, dealing enough damage to crush its skull with a sickening crack.
Alright. That will be my turn. That should have been 14, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That's why I took off 14. It had 14 hit points left exactly.
Gotcha.
So Jalivi, you need to roll a fortitude save.
I don't see it.
Oh, it's under defenses. All right, so Jalivi, you lose 1 hit point and are dying.
Peter.
So Eric, once again, you can try to command Veter.
Okay, give me just a sec. So the Tyrannosaurus next to him, he's flanking it, isn't he?
No, not
He is
right
not.
now. If he moves a little, he will be.
Okay, I'm gonna tell Veter, get him, sick him, boy, sick him. Go for the go for the flank.
All right, roll a handle animal.
Would he be able to go for the flank if he took a 5-foot step?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna tell him go for the flank and hold on just a second. Let me get the dice, and hopefully he'll go for a full attack.
He claws at the Tyrannosaur, but the Tyrannosaur's tail kind of brushes him out of the way.
So it doesn't do anything. Okay.
The Viking charges in to save his friend and ally, dealing 2 massive gashes to the flank of the Tyrannosaur. This Tyrannosaur sees that it is badly outclassed and dips. This Tyrannosaur attempts to flee with Ulf in its jaws. Unfortunately, it is too focused on getting away and drops Ulf in its haste.
Scotty.
You there, Bruce?
You're muted.
Well, Scotty's gonna be still out of it anyway, so. This Viking is going to attempt to escape from the Tyrannosaur's grasp. And is unable to do so.
Okay. Eric is going to drop his longbow and grab his quarterstaff and attempt to, well, get into range and attempt to strike the closest Tyrannosaur with a power strike. I don't think I have a power strike button. Well, normal attack then, I suppose. But is there a way to do a power strike though?
What do you mean? You mean
I have the feet for it.
you have the feet power attack? Okay, I'll add the damage this time and I'll make sure that I have the macro set up for you.
Okay, cool. Oh, it did it.
Yeah. So unfortunately, as you go to swing with all of your might at the Tyrannosaur, you find that it's hard to get a good solid strike in against it with its menacing jaws and lashing tail.
Okay, so what happens? I just completely miss.
Yeah, basically. You don't deal any damage.
Bummer. Okay.
Dying.
And I suppose that's my turn.
Nope, no fall damage. Enraged, the Viking comes and slices his axe into the leg of the Tyrannosaur, causing it to turn and snarl and snap at him. But he brings his battle axe down hard on his neck, and with a sickening crunch, he breaks his spinal cord. And that is all of the Tyrannosaurs, unless you guys want to try and chase them down.
I'm dying. I'm not doing anything.
Right. So, Ulf, I need a fortitude save from you.
If we are out of combat, I have a solution for that.
Oh, yes, we are out of combat, so if you want to go ahead and... I still needed it for Ulf just because in the next 6 seconds he was already still, dying. But now go right ahead and do whatever you're going to do.
I will move here and switch my aura to Vigor. So everybody in that aura gains fast healing 1 up to half.
And so, although it takes a minute, you guys do eventually regain consciousness. And then if you guys want to wait about 5 minutes, you'll all be back up to full. How long does it last?
So it's an at-will ability. It's just a thing I do. But I can only heal somebody up to half of their maximum.
Oh, okay. Up to half of the max. So there you go. So everybody can be healed up to half of your maximum hit points. And I hate to do this, but I need to take a quick 5-minute bio break. So if you guys want to take a little break, anyone want to smoke or do whatever you're going to do, 5 minutes, and then we'll move on with the next part of the quest.
I'm getting coffee.
Sounds good.
There's never a bad time for coffee.
Okay.
Sure there is. Right when you're trying to go to bed.
Nope, coffee now.
Even then
I'm
is a
with
good
you.
time for coffee.
I can still drink coffee and go to sleep.
Well, coffee puts me to sleep, so I suppose. But I'm weird, so I don't...
Nah, you actually want to know the biochemical, how
I'm not sure my brain can handle it, but go ahead.
are you familiar with ATP?
Not anymore. I know the acronym, but I don't know what it means.
Adenosine triphosphate.
Yes. So when that's used for energy, it becomes adenosine diphosphate. And when that's used for energy, it becomes adenosine monophosphate. Your body takes an AMP, converts it into cyclic AMP, and then that acts as a signal for your cell to ramp up energy production because the cell is being depleted of energy real quick. Now, what caffeine does is the enzymes that break down cyclic AMP to get rid of it so that your cell goes back to a normal state, caffeine competitively inhibits those enzymes. Eventually, the caffeine will get degraded and it'll be swept from the system. But while it's still there, it prevents the cell from calming down. So if you're nice, relaxed, already sleepy, and have a tolerance, you can drink a cup of coffee, still go to sleep. It's also why you will crash once you come down off the caffeine, because your body overproduces the enzymes because they're being inhibited by the caffeine. And once the caffeine is removed, it has an overabundance of them and causes the cell to...
Well, thanks for the lesson there, Professor. I feel smarter already.
Don't worry, it's completely useless information.
Well, no, because Monday morning I'm going to go into my boss's office. So I'm going to tell her, you know what I learned over the weekend? I'm going to tell her all about how her coffee helps her work. But I work with engineers, so I don't know how well that's going to help.
It depends on what they engineer.
Rockets?
A chemical engineer would have probably already known it.
Probably. I work with literal rocket scientists. I have no clue. Well, I do, but I don't.
Something that you can impress them, or any of them history buff?
Depends on the subject.
Rocket science?
It's fairly commonplace here.
You can talk to them about the Me-163 Comet. It was a German rocket fighter in World War II, had enough fuel for about 6 minutes to climb to altitude, take out a bomber, and then glide and land. It had two different types of fuel. One was hydrogen peroxide, and the other would dissolve the.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, so two liquid fuels. One was about 40% hydrogen peroxide. I'm trying to look up what the other one was. But if it had a fuel leak, it would dissolve the.
Well, yeah, if you heat hydrogen peroxide, it becomes acidic, if I recall correctly. That just seems like a design flaw.
It was not very safe because they had additional fuel reserves in the cockpit.
What?
Of course, of the type that would dissolve the pilot. And that actually happened on one of its test flights. It was taken off and it released the landing dolly, and the dolly bounces from the ground, hits the aircraft, and it stops the chemical reaction in the rocket. So the guy's now gliding. He manages to turn back to the airfield, except because his wing is dipped, he doesn't see an obstacle, hits the obstacle, belly lands the aircraft safely. It doesn't explode. They get there. They see that he has fuel all over his now dissolving body. He was dead.
Yeah, it tends to happen when your body is busy, breaking down on a chemical.
Oh, they called it T-stuff, which was high-test peroxide and some phosphoric acid.
Oh, there's the acidic part right there.
All right, everybody back?
What was the other one?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm here.
So, as you
Here.
guys finish up, you guys take about 15 minutes in order to, or I'm sorry, about 2.5 minutes to get healed up to half. And now, aside from the bodies of the T-Rexes that you killed, you're alone in an empty field. You're still heading north, but suddenly, Scotty, you start to come to. You have been dreaming that you have been frozen solid in a block of ice, and suddenly the ice shattered, and you unleashed a terrible winter across the land that froze all life before you.
Eek!
What a terrible vision.
And does Scotty come out of this terrible vision and see the world around?
Yes, but
All frozen just like in the dream?
well, the world is frozen because you're in the tundra, but you are like coming out of anesthesia.
Scotty blinks and looks around, sees the two Viking warriors next to her, and speaks, and says, "Where are we?"
Genevieve, here's her childhood friend Scotty who's come too, and she goes, Scotty, you're coherent. You're talking. I'm so
Jillivi?
happy.
Is that
Yes.
you?
Your friends, they found me when I was alone in the wilderness. I had fallen behind after I twisted my ankle, and the wolves, they were after me. And they came and rescued me, and I was wondering this whole time what had ever happened to you. All I knew is you went out to get married, and I never know what happened before.
Jillivi, you're wounded.
Yeah.
There's a dead dinosaur.
Yeah, I came very, very close to death again. These Tyrannosauruses attacked us, and then this person came out of nowhere, and saved us, and so here we are.
Would this person be the enormous Ursine and Kex?
Yeah, but I didn't catch their names or anything because I was already dead. I was already dead when I was already in the clinches of the Tyrannosaurus when they approached. So, at least now I know their names. Howdy, thank you,
Scotty goes over to Jillivi, looks around.
Jillaby.
Jillivi. Can Jillivi move? Are you prone, Jillivi?
No, not anymore. I'd give you a great big hug. I'm so happy to see you.
Scotty gives her cousin a great big hug and looks around, seeing her friends, and oh, it's all strange. That's what's been happening. Come, Jillivi. People are wounded. It looks as if there's been battle and death.
Too much.
And then she speaks to Hafnir and says, "My beloved, what's been happening? Who is wounded?" Ulf!
Hafnir is delighted to see that Scotty is better and says, "Oh, do not worry. I have commanded my men, and we have defeated these terrible lizards. Now we continue forth to find your father and secure this pact."
Excuse you.
Right. Are those creatures dead? Truly dead? The dinosaurs, are they clearly dead?
The one is because it has a gash through its spinal cord and is like not moving at all. The other one, you would have to perform a heal check to tell.
Scotty will go up to the other one and skewer it through the neck with her spear.
That works.
Yep, coup de grace, it's dead.
Once they're dead, Scotty would like to channel positive energy and do a burst of healing to everyone.
Ah, yes.
I can't find it on my sheet.
It's under our abilities.
That's what I thought. But it is not. There you go. Thank you. So is that 12 vigor and 6 hit points for everyone? How does this work?
Correct. Double the vigor always.
So everyone recovers 12 vigor and 6 hit points.
Thank you, Scotty.
Yes, thank you.
And that probably wasn't enough. Ulf is still terribly hurt. So she'll do it again.
It's
Oh.
just channel under abilities.
Pulse should
Yeah,
be at
it's
at
not
least
there.
half.
I was a negative hit point, so healing half my hit points got me to about a quarter.
No, you get maximum health. You get maximum. You should have gotten half the first time from the dragon shaman.
Right, and the channel should have made your hit points go up from there.
Yes, so I believe the wording for the first heal was it will heal up to half my hit points, as in the total max, not anywhere up to.
Up to half of your maximum.
So that would be 15 hit points. I was at negative 10, so that put me at 5.
No,
Is that
it heals
how-
you up to
Yeah,
half of your maximum.
up to 15. So you get 15 total for your starting, and then you heal.
So it heals you up. Okay, so take your maximum hit points, divide it by 2, and that's what your hit points should be.
That's what you're at, correct.
Plus another 11 from Scotty.
He also, I think he thought that it didn't count because he was negative. That he just had to take half.
Yeah.
He added negative plus the.
Right, and normally
Plus
that
the
would
max.
be how it was if it was like a set amount, but because we were just waiting it out and letting the fast healing do its work, it just healed you up to half.
Okie dokie.
By the way, I go and pick up my longbow that I dropped.
So in future, if we happens again, then it'll be minus whatever your negative. Is that what you're telling?
If you get a set amount of healing. But in this case, because you were just letting the fast healing run, it just took however long it took to get you up to half.
Okay. Moving along.
Yeah, so what do you guys do, from here?
Did we get any of the Tyrannosaurus get away? Or did we kill all of them?
Yeah, a couple of the Tyrannosaurs got away.
At least
So
one, possibly two.
Shall we skin them and get the meat and the skin off them? We need food.
Agreed.
Ah, okay. Well,
I
I'll
say
do
we
that.
I say we skin them and get whatever meat and we can off of them, and then we go and move along and set up camp somewhere.
Quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
What are all of you doing here? It's the frozen tundra.
Oh, that's
We're
a
all-
roleplay question. Yeah, go ahead, guys.
We were trying to find Scotty's tribesmen. They disappeared after we came across a evil hag who had apparently cursed Scotty, and so we were on the way to find her people when she went into the curse, and so we've been trying to find her people so that we can meet up with her father.
The evil hag attacked
Kex,
her village.
Kex, you actually know where they went. You have been scouring this area. You know that there are ancient ruins hidden under the ice, and you can find them. And so you've been looking around this area and are very familiar with it, and recently came across the tracks of hundreds of people who had traveled north to the shores of the frozen sea. And so you know exactly where they went.
Right, well, I know they went. Anybody fancy a drink? And he pops the cork on a bottle of.
I take it and say, I think I need one.
Yes, I think, yeah, Ulf would love one, I'm sure.
I'm still trying to figure out how to patch up my damn clothes. I'm perturbed.
All right.
I'll patch up your clothes with the servant when we get in a place where we can.
Not really paying attention to you, just grumbling. A couple more of these fights, and I'm just gonna run around naked.
I wouldn't suggest it. It's
You'll
kinda cold
freeze
out
to
here.
death. Well,
I think we should. Well, we just had a hell of a fight. I think we should set up camp. Kex, would you like to join us? We appreciate all of your help on this. You can rest up with us and get some Tyrannosaurus meat yeah, we can. You can show us where Scotty's people are if
Well, he
that's something.
hasn't revealed that yet.
Ah,
I think we should find shelter and get out of this weather.
agreed.
Dungeon Master, is there like a cave or tight packed copse of trees nearby that I would have been camping at?
Yeah, you have a base shelter set up with Orist. Um, Together, you guys have like a makeshift lean-to set up in a copse of trees.
All right. Well, once we're done harvesting Tyranno meat, I'll lead them there. Or rather, I'll drink while Orist leads us there because Kex is not sure which direction we.
We will gratefully follow Orest.
Yes.
Scotty's just listening and trying to catch up.
All right, so you guys find yourselves in a sheltered little clearing with trees surrounding it and a lean-to set up that has been covered with snow, so it's actually quite warm. Some
Oh,
some
thank
of the
you.
Vikings go about gathering more sticks because as of right now, they don't have enough room for all the Vikings.
Okay, well, how much room is there for, how much is there room for?
Everyone but the Vikings.
Okay.
Clearly, we'll need to do some rotation to keep warm. People on the outside get coldest.
Well, that sounds like a plan. Alright, so
Why don't you take a load off? Me and Orist can walk the perimeter. I think, if I remember where it's at.
I will start a fire. A small one so we can heat up the meat and eat.
Scotty speaks up and says, "Are we going to rest here for a day?"
I think it would be a good idea. Yes.
If by a day you mean 8 hours, then yeah.
Scotty will cast will cast Goodberry and attempt to find good berries in the stuff around here. Is it an option? The appropriate
Roll
pines?
for survival.
Here goes.
I'll aid you in it.
Excellent. Please. Comes to a 12 with the aid.
Yeah, so basically, as you and Ulf are looking around, the only thing that you can find at all is a few, very, very few, hard, old, like acorn-like nuts, and there's no way to really eat them. They're too hard.
What if she were to soak them in water and prepare them?
You might have to boil them for the entire time, but yeah.
That works. How many is she able to harvest? Four works. So prepare those 4 good berries and pass them out to people for use tomorrow. These will last for 2 days.
While she's doing that, I'll continue prepping the fire and because I've gathered twigs and prepping the fire and prepping the and cleaning the Tyrannosaurus meat.
And while they're doing that, I'm going to search for stones to make stone arrowheads out of.
Searching all around in the ice and snow, you're unable to find any rocks.
None whatsoever? Wow.
They're under the snow. I don't recommend digging for them.
Need a shovel for that anyway.
So, is anybody keeping watch?
I believe Keck said him and Orist were kind of patrolling the perimeter for now.
Yeah.
As we start our rest, once we're settled, Scotty will channel one final time. Should bring everybody up to full by morning. Again, I'd click it if I can, but I cannot. Oh, there it is. I found it. 1 hit point for everybody. And she calls down the blessing of the hunter. 1 hit point.
Got it. Finished preparing. I'm gonna now that it's finished. I'm finished preparing. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass around the Tyro meat to everybody. Here you go. I prepared some. Everybody should get a good their bellies full before we go to sleep. Eat.
Chomp, chomp. That's what they get for trying to eat us.
The Tyrannosaurus meat is incredibly gamey and tough to chew, but it is hot meat and very welcome in this freezing cold.
Cool, cool. All right. And I put some aside for Orist and Kex when they get back.
Seems like we have lots. They were pretty big. We probably have a couple 100 pounds of the stuff at least.
Well, I mean, you guys have to be able to carry it.
We'll spread it out. We'll get it. We'll build a travy if we need to. We don't want to leave you. We're not going to leave good meat behind.
Just
Not in
curious.
this situation.
Just curious how much meat came out of that and how much is it gonna weigh if we're gonna do it that way.
It'd be a feast for the village if we took it there in a timely manner, but
Well, it's frozen outside, so it's not gonna thaw.
Yeah, it won't go bad.
Great
It'll
idea.
last till spring.
I'm sure that if having fleed, the people will be in a will possibly be in need of food. So yes, we'll take whatever we have left. That's
And
how
in
many
this sort of
servings.
situation, organ meat is the best.
That's how many servings.
That's how many rations worth.
racks.
Feast for the village indeed, if we could only find my people.
So I guess I'm going to spend a lot of time in preparing those into dried or frozen.
Frozen what?
That's going to take a lot of time to prepare them.
Weeks.
We don't have to prepare it all. I just we can put it on a we
Even
can put
just
it.
even just butchering all that will take more than a day.
Okay.
And if you don't butcher it, it'll start to rot as it cools in the center.
Absolutely. Let's do the butchering. Get it done. Get that food put away.
So I guess how much can we butcher? Are we going to take the time?
Do we have any salt around that we can use to preserve this meat?
It'll freeze.
Yeah, no
Even
need
better.
because of this extreme cold.
Even better.
So each of you needs to roll a survival check to see how many rations worth of the meat you can butcher in a day.
I don't think we should do all of it, just some.
Let's do all of it. We don't want to waste food in this kind
If
of
we
place.
don't do all of it, some of it will go bad.
I think you should pick a time for how much time you want to invest spending in it. We make the roll, and then he does.
Right, exactly. Because if you guys spend a whole lot of time butchering, then you're not, um, continuing on and you're staying in one spot and, all of that stuff. But more importantly, uh,
They
it,
will be dead.
yeah, like the longer it takes, So Jalivy is a butchering machine and manages to get 21 rations worth butchered out. Everybody else, your score is how many rations?
Plus, there's all the Vikings. Looks like our group will do around 100 a day. That doesn't seem right. It doesn't take 3 weeks to butcher a large animal.
Well, most large animals also don't have like thick, scaly hide.
True enough.
And unusual anatomies, incredibly strong tendons, um, just the muscle structure alone. It's kind of like trying to dress a tuna fish or some other large fish like that. Like you might know how to do a bluegill or a bass, but doing something like a large tuna is just so big and you're dealing with such huge portions that it's really hard to deal with, even more so with the huge leg muscles and other muscles like that on this creature. Plus, it's covered in a plume of really fine feathers, so that's also tough to deal with.
Tastes just like chicken.
Everything tastes like
I prefer it to say it's bison or
Better than the salted pork I've been eating for 3 weeks.
Speaking of, are we starting a fire?
Jalivy already has one going.
Then I'm making coffee.
You make what? Coffee.
Yes, I am making coffee in game.
Awesome.
And then we will get our rest. And then I will make more coffee.
All right, so after one day, each of you can add those amount of rations to your inventories, and you have now rested overnight and healed up, and you wake up in the morning, although in this land of eternal darkness, it's impossible to tell when it's morning or not. But you wake up in 8 hours' time and are fully rested.
Kex wakes up just like, ah, wait. Are you guys related to the people that came through here a while ago?
Scotty's head snaps around. The hula
People?
what?
Yeah, a whole bunch
What
of
people?
them. They're heading north.
Yes, yes, that's our village.
Where did they go? They went north.
Wait a minute. How does a village move? You can't move buildings.
Not the buildings, the people. They ran away from their home. We're trying to find them.
They're refugees driven out of their home by war.
Oh, well, they picked the wrong direction, because there's nothing up here but ice and trees and big giant lizards.
Yeah. Well, we still need to get to them. Can you take us?
May?
Oris
So-
nods.
What might be your play reason here? Why are you here, Kex?
Oh, I've been digging. I think. Yeah, digging. Been looking for stuff. You never know where some interesting things are located. Buried in the ice or under the snow, in the caves, in those mountains over there.
My friends and I seem to have a knack for stumbling on interesting and valuable things. Perhaps you'd like to come with us for a while. Your luck might get even better.
So out of nowhere, Kex just starts droning on in Draconic. I don't know if it
No. I mean, I can try.
Did anybody catch that?
He wants to know if anybody can interpret what he's saying.
Scotty, I think we should go find your people.
Yes, now we know the direction.
Kex is nodding emphatically at you and using a bunch of words you don't understand.
I'm going to do a linguistics check and see if I can figure out what he's saying.
Let's try every language we know, friends. See if this fellow speaks any of them. We may have a common language.
Well,
He was speaking common just a moment ago.
Yeah, he was just speaking common, but now he's speaking in a language that you don't understand.
Oris, do you speak common?
Orist nods, but then shakes his head.
Orest, do you understand common?
He nods emphatically.
Orest, can you speak common?
He shakes his head.
Kex, can you sometimes speak in common?
He starts ranting in Elven.
I spit out a mouthful of coffee and choke.
He knows a lot of languages, doesn't he?
A few. After a minute, he kind of shakes his head, looks up at the night sky for a second. Right, that's right. You guys don't speak those. My bad. I kind of forget how to say some things in some languages sometimes. So, yeah.
Which way did they go, George? Which way did they go?
That way.
Good
And he
enough for
points
me.
what direction?
He doesn't. That's the thing.
Orist.
Oris, which way did they go?
Oris nods his head in an northeasterly direction.
I acknowledge, I see it and say, okay, well, I guess we're going northeast.
Kex and Orist, will you please come with us?
Well, we already searched this area, so yeah, I don't have anything else better to do. Oh, wait. You said you had a village? You guys have any interesting drink?
Drinks. Not right away. Let's get a little further down, but feel free to invite when you're on time.
I'm gonna hand him a cup of coffee.
Kex downs the entire thing in one.
I smile mischievously and hand him another cup.
He downs it again.
I just hand him the whole rest of the pot.
I offer it to
Alright.
Erst.
Urs
Alright.
sniffs at it, but turns his nose up at it.
Down the hatch, then.
I offer Vitor a cup of coffee just out of curiosity to see what he does.
There's no more coffee left.
Oh,
What is Vitor? Is he a little bear cub or something?
Yes?
yeah, he's a polar bear cub.
Hmm. Kex gives it an eyebrow, and then, he looks confused for a second, and then he just goes back to sipping down this giant thing.
All right.
Shall we move out from this camp today?
Yes.
Yeah, we have to go north
Northeast.
or east. Yeah,
Wait, you
Northeast.
said something about a war earlier. What war?
There's a war. The hag. There's a hag that attacked when the hag attacked the people, and that. So we're that's why we're trying to find them to find where they went, where the people went to. That's where we're going.
Works for me. Let's go. As we travel, Kex is like. You can see that he tries to think and perceive the world around him, but he's just far too busy with his own thoughts. As he's walking, he mumbles occasionally. But I do have my senses aura on as part of the metagame, so everyone else is getting a +1 to perception checks.
Thank you.
I'll take point and scout ahead.
I'll go with you. I'm not gonna let you go by yourself.
Star will fly up. And how high? This is open sky, right?
Yes. Yes.
Star is going. Scotty says gestures for people to hold along Irik and Ulf's line, and Star is going to fly ahead and stay 200 feet up.
You can see that clearly several ships have launched from here recently. Does somebody not have push to talk on?
Sorry, that was me.
And as Star continues to scout, she can see that there is one boat left behind to the north.
Does she spy any creature? Does she spy anything dangerous to us?
The icy water.
Oh, are we? Where does the water begin?
Right along the shore here.
I see. And which way is north on the boat? Is that left on the map?
Yeah, everything's oriented, so to the northwest is the boat.
Got it. Star returns, and Scotty tells everyone what's up ahead. That there's one boat left. We should move. Then they seem to have left in a boat. We should make haste.
All right, let's get moving.
I don't seem to have a light source.
Kex, realizing that he's been left in the dark, whips out his torch.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't see in the dark. I forgot about that.
Yeah, light is kind of important.
Oh, come on, kids, let's go. And he just starts following the group.
Is the boat big enough to fit us all?
Nope. So you guys come across the boat and quickly realize that not only will Orst not be able to fit in it at all, but that there is clearly not enough room for you and all of the Vikings.
Scotty says we will need to send a search party ahead to find the others, and then we can make multiple trips. Or I'm not sure what we can do about Orlust, but we'll come up with something. Perhaps there's a bigger boat.
Uh,
Do we know where we're going with the boat?
No.
We could fly.
Is there anything around with which to make a makeshift boat?
Ice?
Yeah, an iceberg.
or yeah, okay. Um,
I think we take a few minutes and let Star scout.
Sure. Scotty closes her eyes and goes into the animal shaman's trance, and Star flies up and away. Star's been inside near Scotty and getting warm, but now flies out and flies around for a little while, and then comes back and gets under Scotty's furs again.
Yeah, as Star zigzags back and forth across the coast, going further and further out, she comes back and you saw nothing. Just water and ice.
Scotty reports this and says, I could send Star out to sea to see if there's a nearby island or something, but I do not know where they would have gone. Does anyone have any ideas?
maybe there's a, I don't know, maybe there's an underground passage. I don't know.
I'm gonna look to see if a message was left.
Good idea. Maybe there's some clue in the tracks. Scotty will help you with that.
I'm going to roll. I don't know if it would be a survival check. I want to know. I want to know how long it's been since people have been around this area.
Yeah, that would be survival. All right, so Eric and Ulf, you can tell that they set sail no more than 2 days ago. Ulf, as you are investigating the boat, you find a pack that was packed away in here before somebody must have gotten on a different boat, and you can see that there is a journal inside that kind of details the events of the last few days. They have been trying to get away from the witch's minions who have pursued them relentlessly. They've lost many members of the tribe, but the chief is sure that if they can make it to the Arctic Circle, the polar north, that they will be able to find an item that can stop the witch. And so they have set sail to reach the very pole, the North Pole of this world.
So I don't read it myself, but I bring it to Scotty so she reads that.
All right, she reads it, and then after reading it silently, she'll read it aloud to anyone who wishes to hear.
What's it say?
It says that they are seeking the far polar north.
But that means
some way, that seems a fool's errand, but maybe there's a reason for it.
Does anything survive up there?
Nobody's ever been there that they know of.
About how far away is that, Scotty?
Nobody
Any
knows.
idea?
Well,
I'll roll
are
it.
we going to the unknown? Are we committed to finding her father?
Is Scotty's father the village chief who's making this decision to go north?
Yes.
And he's bringing all the people in the tribe, not just the warriors and questers.
Well, leaving them behind would basically just be killing them.
Yeah.
Can I tell how far it is to the pole based on my knowledge geography roll?
No, because this world is not mapped like ours is.
Well, mysterious artifacts. That's what Kex is trying to find, and we've got to find the villagers. What say you, group?
See, Scotty's not sure what to say. What should we do, friends?
I think we need to get more boats if we're gonna have our group go north.
All right. Well,
What does Earl Hafnir say?
Jarl Hafnir says that he doesn't have any boats in his backpack.
What if I sent Star out to sea, at least a ways, to see if they're there? Did the journal give any indication of how far it was?
No.
Or what
Nobody
kind of
knows.
boats they had?
No, nobody knows. Your father's just going off of information that has been passed down through the tribe's chieftains.
I'm gonna roll a skill, arcane knowledge skill, and see if I can get more information. If I can figure out what the lore, what they might be looking for.
Are you looking forward to chasing after them to your certain death, Aaron?
Well, What do y'all think?
I think they did.
My first roll was 20. I didn't mean to do the second.
But
Unfortunately,
who wants to live forever?
your knowledge of the arcane arts cannot give you any indication of where they're at.
I'm not asking where they're at. I'm asking what it is they might be searching for.
The only thing you know for certain is that there's a legend that the gods did battle with primordial beings at the dawn of time, and that this all took place before this land was covered with ice, and that supposedly ancient weapons and everything are buried underneath the ice.
Okay. So I tell the story. Legend has it that all the artifacts from the gods prior to this world being as it is now held artifacts and magic items and weapons. Perhaps they have the key to unlocking this frozen death in this unending night.
At the mention of
I say we go.
artifacts, Kex's head just pops up, and he's just bug-eyed at you. Can see that he is positively giddy.
Oh. Oh. And so I look at her and I say, "Oh, it looks like Kex is."
What the hell? Why not?
Scotty is in, and she says, "I each day I can protect 2 people against the cold and dangers of the sea and frozen north, but only 2 at a time. So if someone starts to weaken, let me know."
I have resist cold and fire, so I'm okay. 5% anyway.
Kex has cold weather gear. He's got clothes.
How many people will the boat fit?
It'll fit all of you kind of huddled together like the crossing of the Delaware.
Kex is totally going to be George Washington.
All right.
Scotty will have an oar.
So how much is Orst weigh? I mean, I don't really.
Do you think it would be worth trying to make a raft out of the ice and tow it behind the boat?
I think you should watch Titanic.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
We need to find a bigger boat for Orest.
Does Orest even want to go, or is he?
He can't fit and he weighs too much. There's just no way. He weighs over 1,000 pounds.
Is there anything? There's nothing around with besides ice and water, huh? There's no tree.
Ice and water.
Out of character, does anyone have a shrink or reduce size spell or reduce person?
I don't think Orst would like that.
All right.
I can shrink Vitor.
Vitor's not the problem. Yeah, Orst is very chonky.
Without the materials, we'll have to leave some people behind. Perhaps we should send Orst to. I don't know. Perhaps we should send Orst back along with the Vikings. So
To protect the
that.
Jarl, yes.
Yeah.
All right, is there any wildlife that could carry Orison? Knowledge check.
Wildlife. What are you trying to like wrangle a narwhal or something?
Pretty much.
Yeah, no, there's nothing that is going to, be sufficient here. it's just not feasible for all of you to go. If you're gonna go, it's gonna have to just be the party, and Hafnir and Orst are gonna have to stay behind along with the Vikings. Yeah, lash together a bunch of sea turtles. There's no sea turtles here though. Those are warm water creatures.
All right. Well, I'm
Yeah. Walruses.
So Happy doesn't want to go.
It's not that Hafnir doesn't want to go, it's that there's not enough room and somebody needs to stay behind with the Vikings to lead them.
yep. So, yeah, he probably needs to Hefter probably needs to probably needs to get back to the village where he's from.
No, Hafnir's not
But-
leaving. He's going to set up camp here and wait for you guys to return.
Right. He should perhaps set up camp in the best place we can find. And if we survive and find something, Scotty can send Star back with a message.
How far away is the camp that they were at, where Orst and Kex were?
Like a day.
That'd be the best place for them to wait for us because they already have a boatload of Tyro meat there, and it's a relatively safe place. Hello?
I hear you.
Did we level up out of character? Are we going to level up from our last fight?
Yeah, in between sessions here, you guys will advance to level 5.
Well, we're
Five.
still level
Oh.
3.
Yeah, 3. We're 3.
Oh, I thought you guys were already
Don't
4.
correct him.
Yeah. I thought you guys
Yeah,
were already
5
4.
works.
Sorry, no, you'll advance
You never
to level
let us
4.
level up like we were supposed to.
What do you mean?
Like
that's-
when we did the dire wolves, you said we're gonna level up.
Oh,
level
yeah,
4,
yeah,
and you didn't let
yeah.
us.
Yeah, that's right. I remember. That's because I was gonna. Yes, Kex. That's because I knew that these guys were gonna level up to 4. I just wanted to wait until Scotty was back. That way, you weren't having to make a character and then level it up the very same session. But yeah, you guys will level up to 4 in between here.
No, we were supposed to do it today. Anyway,
So how long did Hafnir say he was going to wait for?
He'll wait up to like a week.
All right. I say we get this boat with some motion in the.
Yeah, let's do it. We have a rendezvous point. If Earl Hafnir and poor Orest wait, in a week we should either
are
be
they
dead
on
or
they gonna stay on
found
the
something.
shores, or are they gonna go to the camp?
Well, I might can make some trees grow if we wanted to try to make another boat.
Do you have the technical ability to build a boat?
I was gonna say, who knows how to build a boat?
I don't know. Does anyone here know?
I can build a raft, most likely.
Yeah, I can build a raft as well. With I have a spell that will let me build a raft.
Orist, 1,000+ pound bear man wearing full plate armor, is thrilled at the idea of getting onto a rickety raft in the middle of a frozen Arctic sea.
Yeah, it wouldn't be sturdy enough to carry him. It can only carry up to 300 pounds, is what it is. So
It's not worth it.
Get half near
We're
with
not
us.
worth
That's it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, probably not.
Anybody got a compass handy?
No.
Time to navigate by the stars.
Kex is literally sipping from the same bottle of wine.
Wait, I thought you had coffee now.
He drank all
drank
that.
all of the coffee.
Oh. You got your
So-
uppers, you got your downers.
Climb aboard, Kex.
Kex is on the bow of the ship. Like,
Who
he's
else?
got like the
Why?
full Captain Morgan pose. He's just like up there, just like that way.
All right, so somebody needs to roll a survival check to see how well you guys navigate the ship through the frozen waters.
Scotty will assist. Or does that?
I
I
probably
was
have the
lucky on
highest
my
roll.
survival check last time. Eric or Ulf have the best survival skills.
Yeah, I can't select my character at the moment. I gotta wait for the map to load.
But I will try anyway.
Does follow tracks apply?
All right, so Scotty, you managed to help them keep the ship steady through rough, freezing waters, and using your resist elements, you keep everybody from freezing to death. As you row for almost half a day, you finally come to a little iceberg island with a crashed ship.
Uh-oh.
Good thing we have a lot of dinosaur meat on us.
Time to investigate.
Yeah,
about to
let's
find some
investigate
hungry
the
people.
crash.
Let's pull ashore, secure the boat, and then I'll start investigating the
How large is this island? Can I tell?
You can't see all of it, but it's quite big enough that the ship has been stuck here now for at least a day.
Since there's a bit of light, Star will climb out from under Scotty's furs and will fly up and do a scout, flying up to about 300-foot height and look all around,
All right.
especially watching for fires.
Star does not see anything right now. You guys, obviously begin to investigate the ship here, and you find several bodies that they had no time to do anything, but also looking around, they find you find tracks that show that they climbed on board another vessel and departed. So the rest of the village rescued whoever could be rescued, but there's many dead bodies from the crash. About a
Alright.
day, and they're covered in snow and ice.
Day, that doesn't seem normal.
You mean only about a day ahead of us?
Yes.
Think we should take a short rest, eat something, maybe a pot of coffee, and get back to row? Or do we need to sleep for the night?
We're exhausted now, right?
Oh, for sure. You guys have spent most of your energy rowing, and you've cast your spell a few times, so yeah.
Right. Let's find a place underneath the ship like right there probably, and get a space where we can all crowd in, light a fire, and we can burn the planking on the ship and rest for a day.
Before we do that, I'm going to detect magic to see, make sure there's no magical threats around here.
And I'm gonna make sure we start the fire away from our boats and the actual ship, carry it a little bit away, and double check to make sure our boat is secure and tie it onto something on.
Let's pick it up out of the water and drag it well inland. Worst case, we can use it to enhance our shelter.
All right, so you do not detect any magic except one faint glow coming from one of the cabin areas in the lower deck of the ship.
There's something coming from inside the ship. Something magical. Lower deck.
All right, I'm gonna try and find it.
You find a frozen body with a softly glowing necklace on it.
Can I tell what it does?
You cannot. However, if you show it to Scotty or Jalivy,
Yeah, one of them needs to roll a knowledge arcana on it, I think.
Yeah, I'll bring it to Jill.
Jillavi, have you any idea what this one is?
so yeah, roll
Checking.
roll a
I'm
knowledge arcana.
And I'll assist her with her roll.
All right, Jalivy, you recognize this as a mother's love necklace. What it is it is magically attuned to rings that the children wear, and it always glows softly the closer you get to the rings. So a mother always knows when her children are lost or near, and it'll kind of pulse and glow brighter the closer you get. And so this is telling you that everybody is within a mile of you.
So what is within a mile?
Well, one of this mother's children. She's dead.
Okay. I've got a question. Can like can it be worked for just for purposes later? Can it be used as just a mother, or would it be for any parent?
Well, it's called a mother's love necklace, but it doesn't it's still working even though the mother's dead. It's just a necklace that is attuned to rings. It's like a GPS tracker.
Okay. I'm gonna give it to Scotty and say, this is a family tracker, and I
Right.
know you'll take care.
When
She has family near. I'm giving it
right.
to you because I will treasure it. I know you'll treasure it since we're looking for your father too.
Thank God for overprotective mothers.
Scotty will give it a try. She's going to put it on and use spellcraft to try to really attune to it and see if she can get a feel on where the children are. Probably adult children, who knows? But if they're still alive and anything, does it tug? She'll meditate.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll for spellcraft.
As Scotty's going into the meditation, she asks for help. If there's
Oh,
any way
I'm
anyone
sorry.
can
Actually,
help with
roll
her.
for use magic item.
Ooh, she has that. She's trained in doing that.
I'll assist.
As will I if I can.
Okay, you guys roll your assists. Here's the base roll.
Oops,
22.
All right, so as you touch the necklace and try to use its magic, you suddenly flash back to your vision. You see a vision of two young children running up to. This is from your point of view. You're still inside the frozen ice block, and you see the young children running up to the ice block, and suddenly, as they touch it, they are frozen solid and killed instantly as they turn into ice.
Scotty will relay the vision and describe it and explain how this was like what I was the vision I had before when I was in a trance and you led me around. Thank you for that, by the way.
What? The vision you had before when you were encased in ice and everybody was dead?
Yes, yes, it was a terrible vision of coming Ragnarok and ice everywhere and everyone dying in an explosion of ice.
Well, we must get to the children. Hopefully they haven't touched that ice yet.
Hopefully, maybe that's what it means. Maybe it means they're already dead. That's how I interpret the vision, but I hope I'm wrong, says Scotty.
It sounds dangerous. Do we take the chance?
Wait, you have visions?
Yeah, they're just as
Sometimes.
crazy as you, Kex.
That's not possible.
Do we investigate further? Or do we leave, assuming they're dead?
I'm gonna look for the tracks.
Yeah, we should search this place very thoroughly.
Yeah,
As we get
no,
back up to full before we go after them.
I'll look for tracks too.
So you find the tracks that show that they clearly got on board another ship.
Yeah, we'll go after them once we're rested, but we have to be fully rested. We can do some stuff.
Is there in? Okay, I'm going to just for the heck of it, do just never.
Well, it sounds like you guys are, going to continue after the ships. So this will be a good time to go ahead and stop, let you guys start working on leveling up to 4, and then we'll pick up next session with you guys traveling on. So, yeah, this was good. We got a lot of good progress made today, and I'm happy that Scotty has returned once again, and we have a new player. So there should be some really interesting role-playing dynamics coming up. But first, the quest to find the village of the Angel Grundians continues. So, thank you for playing, everyone. Stay safe out there in this crazy world. And as always, good gaming.
Good game.